And look at that for a beautiful formation start. Jean Stampe and Maurice Vertongen met in the Belgian Air Force during the First World War. And in 1923, they formed their own company at Antwerp in 1933. Producing the very first prototype of this aircraft, the Stampe SV4. Designed as a trainer and won a contract to supply the Belgian Air Force with 300 of these aircraft. Starting off in a box formation, completing a 360-degree turn. And as they go off to your right-hand side, numbers 2 and 4 will change formation to echelon port. .300 aircraft joined the Belgian Air Force back in 1939, followed by another order for 600 aircraft for the French Air Force. 40 of those aircraft are being produced in Antwerp and by Farman in France, but few aircraft actually survived the war themselves. And as they pull up from that echelon formation, an absolutely delightful screen, giving you the opportunity to see what wonderful colour schemes these aircraft have. Following Richard now as they bend back over themselves in a tail chase formation, using all the air available, but keeping the formation and the entire display really, really close in and in full vision all of the time. It's one of their trademark abilities, an absolutely glorious sight that is to watch, isn't it? Forming the team into something of a round robin. Richard Ward started in aviation as an air traffic controller alongside one of our colleagues helping us manage the air display here, Ian Revel, who had an early close relationship in flying aircraft and in managing air traffic up in the northern part of the United Kingdom. Ended up being best man at Richard's wedding. A really nice touch. Richard went on to fly Super Puma helicopters in the North Sea with Bristow's and Aberdeen, and then joined Air 2000 at Gatwick on the Boeing 757 and 76, but just loves flying Stampes. Reformating now, the team working hard, primarily using just hand signs, very few words to capture. I tested Richard this morning. He said it'd be good to capture something, but very few actual vocal words spoken as they reconfigure now into swan formation. Richard leading in the red and whites. Behind him, Richard Meredith, a retired school teacher. He flew with the University Air Squadrons. Didn't join the Air Force, sadly, but ended up with the Tiger Club and flew the Pilatus P2 Bucky Yeoman and, of course, the well-known Turbulent team as well. Richard Brilliant inspired to take up aviation as they come past in swan formation once more. His grandfather, who was in the Royal Fleet Air Arm during World War II, but went off to the United States. Eventually, he learned to fly there, and his early flying was in New Jersey, working on his private pilot's license, and then in California, picking up his commercial license after that. And then, not forgotten, albeit not seen yesterday, but delighted to see him today, Roger Bishop. All of them very much known each other for many, many years, mainly out of the Tiger Club at Red Hill. And this aircraft not to be confused with the Tiger Moth, which it frequently is. Of course, this rather different configuration, having a little tail wheel, displaying the delightful colour schemes of all four aircraft. like to call that the Prince of Wales break. Now a mixed bag. We've been doing slightly different variations on different themes. A bit like a dogfight. Pulling right around the bay and the sun just picking out the beautiful, beautiful designs on the top wings. Keeping that turn now going the other way. Tighter, of course, each pilot working very, very hard. Reasonable performance and reasonable agility as they move into line astern. Built as a biplane tour and training aircraft. First model, the 4A, was an advanced aerobatic trainer, and you can see the agility that they have with this aircraft here today, but with redesigned wings and the 130 horsepower de Havilland Gypsy Major engine. Another good photographic opportunity coming up now. Richard steering them back in, straight through crowd center again. Beautiful, beautiful photographic position. Really good formation, keeping these a huge amount of hours between them all. And of course, most of them being chumps for a very long time as well. Stand by for the break. Stunning. At the end of this run, Richard will, or number one Richard that is, climb to 1,000 feet to give you some solo aerobatics. So you know what to do when they're coming down the fly line from right to left. Big Mexican wave, airborne style, as we always do, giving them a fantastic airborne wave off. Right now, pulling into his first maneuver. Once again, absolutely superb station keeping, all the activity really close in. And now the rest of the team, 2, 3 and 4, giving you a wonderful waving pass by. Yeah, great opportunity here. Don't they look just absolutely glorious? Beautiful aircraft these. The stalwart of aerobatic competitions both in France and the rest of Europe, much loved for the harmonisation and the light and effective controls. There's X-ray on, and harking back to the great days of the Rothmans formation team that operated 4 stunts during the early 1970s prior to changing to pit speckle. And the legendary Neil Williams, who came second in the final Lockheed Trophy, flying one of these very aircraft. Replicating the finest traditions of classical barnstorming aviation from the 30s and 40s. Absolutely extolling the virtues of their absolutely wonderful. Coming through now into a barrel roll. That's when you turn the aircraft around the outside of a great big beer barrel. It requires a fair amount of coordination, particularly in a slow speed aircraft. Completing that with another wing over. Slipping in an aileron roll there, now repositioning a lovely, huge, wide, arcing wing over to our left-hand side. Wonderful, wonderful display. Well coordinated flying. Putting it back into the axis, running in now for another loop. Here we go, G coming on. If you're putting up, it's not too excessive in this class of aircraft. Speed coming off, looking over your shoulders, checking the wings level. And then a little quarter clover turn away out to sea. Boot for the runner, giving a gorgeous stall turn. Putting up almost complete for his final loop of the day, and just doing a little bit correcting on the way there. Oh, rolling out. And barrel rolling nicely out on the B axis. And there was Richard just calling complete after an absolutely delightful piece of flying. I think you'll agree with me that's one of the nicest acts we have here. Completely different. Lovely to see something historic, also slower speed, and he's coming by to give you a farewell pass as well. So come on, put your hats and coats and ice creams up in the air. This is Richard Ward here, leader of the Stampe Formation Team.